Good afternoon. It is Monday, August 17, 2026, and I am at Nisqually Estuary Boardwalk, and right here on the southern tip of Puget Sound. You can see I'm coming up on the end of it here. Quick wrist check. My little Addie's Dive sand dune. Love that, the texture on that. It's 4.3 miles round trip. Out and back is just over 2 miles. And it's like 40-foot elevation gain. So there's not a lot of elevation. As you can see, it's at low tide. I think the tide's starting to come in. I don't know. I haven't been looking. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Nice little 2-day trip. Got down right at noon yesterday, or just after noon, to Ocean Shores. Hiked, I drove on the beach, got about 30 minutes on the beach driving and getting out and just walking around, and I hiked 2.1 miles 1.2 miles at Weatherwax Trail, and I figured I walked at least a couple miles at Copalis Beach, and then today I did a couple miles at Tommy State Park, 4 Cedars Loop Trail. I've done that before, but I like it. Google Maps says it was closed. They were wrong. And now here I am, this 4.2 mile, 4.3. Bald eagle flying off there. Nice. There's Puget Sound to the north.
Ah, see, there it is. Yeah. It's so pretty. Right. I'm glad we came this time.
Blue heron. Right there in front of the signs. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Anyway, pointed that blue herring out to the ladies there. But yeah, I'm finna head on back now. I didn't get to do my metal detecting. Didn't get to do batting cages. Didn't get to do putt-putt. That's okay. I got to do other stuff. Got beach therapy. Got to do hiking. Got to enjoy the Pacific. Heck, I had Copalis Beach all to myself, basically. But yeah, it's at low tide here. As you can see, there is no cover. So when it's hot, I brought plenty of water and Gatorade for me. But I hope your 2026 is going well. Mine's going pretty good. I cannot complain one bit. Could I find reasons to complain? Yeah, but why? Honestly, don't sweat the small stuff. Appreciate what you got. You know, that's the problem. People just, I don't know, try to live their life by impossible standards. You know, I'm not rich by any means, but I live comfortably. Yeah, I can say that because I have planned it that way. You know, I live within my means. I save, I plan, prepare. You know, that way when, you know, emergencies and bad things happen, you know, you can absorb them and take them better. You know, I understand a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and I feel for you. I really do. But if you really looked at people's finances and what they spent their money on, yeah, not everybody. I know some people, but I mean, heck, when is it enough? I got land, 19 acres in Arkansas. I have no house. I've owned 3 houses. I've never lived in a single one of them. They were rental properties. I'm renting a room out of a condo or a townhome now, which is fine. That's all I need. I don't want to be up here in the Pacific Northwest and having to pay rent or a mortgage and all the utilities. Oh my goodness. No. So yeah, I'm more than happy to rent. Sacrifice that. Saving, planning, and preparing. That way when I build my house and I retire, I'm going to build it self-sustained. I'm taking care of it for the rest of my life. Not just my life, my son's life too. Splitting up the gray and black water. Making it very, very energy efficient. Active and passive solar. I know this stuff's all foreign concepts, but y'all can look it up, Google it. First time in human history, you literally had the world at your fingertips. Knowledge. For anytime I have an issue with something, and there's lots of things I'm going to look up in the future to figure out for myself. YouTube videos, tutorials. If you know where to look. Look at this, man, it's beautiful. That's where I was. There's Puget Sound. There's some of the islands. I don't know, I guess maybe, I don't know, Anderson Island, I don't know, Bainbridge. I don't know, I'm sure I'm butchering them. I don't care. I ain't from up here. I'm from down yonder. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful today. Monday. We're already halfway through August, man. Look, here we go. At the end of this month, we're going to be 2/3 the way through 2026. I hope your health's doing good. Hope your lives are going well. Work on it. Nothing's going to happen overnight. If you wait on other people for your happiness, you'll never be happy. If you try to live your life by other people's standards, get off the internet. Start getting out, living life. Find, some people don't like being out in the woods. That's okay, but they have lots of neighborhood parks that are nice and very adequate. I highly recommend that. Get out, enjoy. That's a problem. We don't get out and walk. Or, run, hike, bike. You lose it, you don't use it, you lose it. How it is, atrophy. When you lay around. When you have your weights out of hand, all the health issues, your joints ache and everything and stuff. I already tested positive for RA, so my joints ache anyway. And I'm glad I lost my weight. Which I was never a lot anyway, but for me, 180, that was a lot. 180, 185. Now I'm a $155. So, and I'm happy at that. Do I need to eat healthier? Yes, I do. But we do the best we can. All things considered. Consider I'm doing about 6 miles today. Oh, I have done 6.5, basically. Not a lot of elevation, only about, I'd say 300 foot. And yesterday, I'd say, 1, 2, 4, about 4 miles, total. 3 to 4. I didn't do a whole lot, really. But yeah, sometimes, just got to kind of take it easy. Let your body rebound, Do what you can. Trust me, there's lots of other stuff I wanted to do, but I was pretty tired. I slept in. I wanted to, because I worked 5 days last week, worn out. Plus all my family drama. I got family sick or, health issues. They're trying to get all that squared away. Take care of yourself. The bill comes due. And by the time you realize it, it's too late. Like 20, 15, 10 years from now, who knows, RA might just be jacking me up and I can't do this anymore. And if that's the case, so be it. I'm not going to be spiteful. That's just how life is. Hey, I'm happy to be doing all the stuff I have been doing. I think I should have died many times over. I'm a lucky SOB. Oh, another bald eagle. Hey! Can we see it? Yes, there's the bald eagle. Oh, look, an eagle. Brr. Nice. There's 2 bald eagles I've seen now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I always love seeing those. But yeah, anyway, people go, there's a reason why you're alive. Yeah, I know why I'm alive. I'm a tough fucker and I'm hard to kill. Exactly why I'm alive. I have lived a somewhat charmed life. We'll say that. I've had a lot of bad luck, but I've had a lot of good luck too. So it's just all in all how you look at it. I'm very happy and content where I am in life and where I'm going. And I don't care what anybody thinks. The lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. I can promise you that. Let me get by these old ladies. There we go. Yeah, at least in the South, I always say hi to people on the trails and stuff. People say hi back. People aren't friendly up here in the Pacific Northwest. You know, I say hi to everybody. Please, thank you. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, whether you're 2 or 102. And I've had people get mad. How dare you call me ma'am? Well, that's the way I was raised. I'm not going to apologize for the way I was raised. For manners. Think that we live in a day now where people get upset over manners. How pathetic do you have to be to find reasons to be outraged and upset? That's why I don't care about offending anyone. You know, this time and I got a right for it. I don't believe in it. All my stuff's grounded. You know, I'm not vindictive. You know, I believe there's good and bad in every race. But I do not put up with people's bullshit or lies or laziness. You know, hold everybody accountable. Don't seagull there flying. You wanted to fly by, I guess. Oh, there's a blue heron over there. Another one. Oh, where are we at? There it is. Yeah. But yeah, work on yourselves. Start taking control of your lives. It ain't gonna happen overnight. Progress, not perfection. We're all gonna slip up, make mistakes. But minimize your mistakes. Quit doing ignorant, stupid stuff. If you really stop and think about something, what's the worst that can happen? And if you're honest on a lot of your tomfoolery, death or jail. There's a lot of times the worst that can happen. And people just don't realize that, you know. You do bad, you can expect to get bad back. You know, doing, you know, ill-gotten stuff, no sympathy when it comes back on you. Anyway, y'all got to enjoy nature, people. Later.